Always great to be here in Victoria, here on the Surf Coast. It is just a magical day for big heats. It was cold this morning, it's warming up. About 64 degrees Fahrenheit, almost 18 Celsius, and the bowl is igniting to set the stage for K.Igarashi, Griffin, Colapinto, and J.Bunch.
Probably one of the biggest surf fans to have ever existed, you know, even though he's not full-time on tour. But here we go, we've got action right now, Griff.
Griffin Colapinto finishing third in the world in back-to-back seasons. Runner-up in the final last year to one of his best friends on tour, Cole Hausman. And absolutely lighting up that section.
Just really standing out to me, and Griff was definitely one of them. For me, it's the transitions between the turns. And that's where sort of that progressiveness is coming from. Yeah, okay, it's not progressive in the fact that, you know, it's not ditching fins free on, you know, this sort of wave. This is a more slopey approach here. But, I mean, he gets to release the fins there. But it's the transition between the turns. It's just...
There's a surfer named Bobby Owens. He's known to be one of the best ever at Sunset Beach. Finished in the top 16 4 times in a row. Had a great heat with Simon back in the day. As we look at Griffin up and out. Back in '81, Bobby showed up down here at Bell's, and always great to find out the latest and greatest technology that's out there as we watch Griffin Colapinto starting to track down the line. Nice flow, easy up and out, just pacing himself through a couple of looks at the moment. 4.33 was his opener, 2 throwaways.
I love this place, you know. I've been hanging out with all the locals. I went to the footy game last night, and yeah, it's just been rad. And yeah, just stoked to be here, stoked to, you know, get some waves. It seems like there's going to be more waves on the forecast.
Sort of probably the strongest sort of score that we've seen from Jackson. And then we have Griff here, bit of a whitewash foamy takeoff. And he's just sort of waiting for this section to present itself. Really feels like he's got a few more gears to click up into here as he wraps around that section and gets the finish, but a little bit late there.
All-time classic. As we'll get caught up with some surfing flick, J.Bunch here.
Yeah, so Jackson on the backhand, he drives up into that first section, gets really, really tight in the pocket, jams it up there, but looks for this connection here, just weaving through this more sort of dead water here, just trying to get a finish. He's obviously got that really nice crack at the beginning of that wave and gets the finish there, so hang on, but that whole wave just felt a little bit, that timing was off. And then out the back we see Kanoa, big carve there. That was really nicely done, really well timed, and a good read on that first section as he tries to get around here. Gets a little flare up into the lip, looks for this little down track here. He sort of weaves through the inside, beautiful transitions here, and does he get one more? He does. So that's a really nice score for Kanoa. That's going to trickle in here.
J.Bunch getting a 5.17 on his last. Griffin Colapinto 3.77. And now up again, Griff from San Clemente, California. Nice low bottom turn, snap, and controlled slide. A lot of speed on the wall, leans back into a layback, and on the blowtail, he can't hang on. Crosby.
Whatever.
Right next to Tommy Whitaker, shaking off the fall. Jake Marshall almost fell down the stairs. He was riding that finish with his good friend Griffin. And they all know the situation that Griffin's in right now. Falling down the rankings and being very open with us about it. He said he feels great. He just hasn't had the results yet, just putting more pressure on himself.
And he looks like he's having another go here.
Griff up again. Younger brother Cross got the win in the first heat of the round the other day as he lays down a real silky roundo. Nice easy float, clear water, full rail wrap in the pocket, and just lights up a finish. So patient, a lot of variety, just in perfect sync and pace with that last wave.
Yeah, that was so well surfed. I mean, I thought he's already surfing great. I mean, I thought on the last wave, the one where he fell on, and I just thought, no, this guy's in good rhythm right now. He's got a good feel to it. He's in that same rhythm. His wave selection, great. Picked one with a perfect, nice bowl to it. Really places this first roundhouse. I love it when surfers go to that first, for the first maneuver. floats over that first section. He really created that section for himself with that roundhouse and into that nice swooping carve. Gets a jab to finish there. So for me, it was the roundhouse. I just think it was so epic because it...
You know, but for Cole, getting that edge, the momentum that he carried through that title, but he also became a really good friend with Gabriel. They actually have a ton of respect for each other. Went on a surf trip to Indo in the offseason as we look at K.Igarashi fading. Nice patience, classy little top turn. Nice clean sweep into the pocket, looking to better a 6-5 here. Snap to slide. And the silver medalist in Tokyo 2020 will just wrap things up with a couple little punches off the top and stays on his feet.
Let's have a look and break this down first. But everyone sort of has seasons, yeah, as shapers, and everyone's, you know, sort of got their purple patch moment. And I guess you've been doing one thing for so long and all of a sudden you're thinking maybe I can change something up and it's going to work, or it's going to put a different sort of stamp on my surfing. And sometimes it works and you jump on this other board and all of a sudden you're thinking, okay, this is the magic, this is the secret weapon, this is what I needed. And I mean, even for me, without, you know, when I just think of Kanoa as a competitor, he's, you know, obviously the boards you're surfing, they're the Ferraris, right? They're amazing, but just him as a competitor, maybe it's a mental thing, sometimes it is a physical thing, but yeah, I think it's that age-old sort of question.
Griffin Colapinto hunting. Wall starting to show itself, and section gets there quickly, belts it hard, but just couldn't find a way to ride out. Incomplete. He's had a couple falls in this heat.
Unfortunately, just those competitors he's been matched up to, just sort of that bar's been raised a little bit, and he finding himself, you know, in these really tight, close heats.
Watching the rookie J.Bunch put his last couple of turns in against the veterans on tour. He's able to ride out of his finishing move and trying to get every little bit out of this final wave. And he'll ride all the way into the beach. Jackson chasing a 5.17 at the buzzer. Working closely with his coach, Gabe Garcia, who is really effective in helping him qualify for the tour last year. Jackson finishing in 10th, but knowing how here on the Bell's Bowl, looking really comfortable to try to increase that seed into the round of 32.